So I'm here with a man who talks his heart out when it comes to sex and relationships, which is so difficult for a lot of people. It was difficult for me some time back, and thankfully I'm out of it somewhere, trying to get out of it. And I think this is a session where we are going to talk a lot about the hidden aspects of a relationship which is not on Facebook or which is not on Instagram. So we're going to talk about the non-Facebook and non-Instagram and non-social media story of the relationships which is happening very much around us, but we are still oblivious. So we're going to talk, hi Arpit, so we are going to talk about casual sex, because I think this is a new trend where relationships can be casual. So relationships has been casual when you say you have friends and you have acquaintances and colleagues, but nowadays an intimate relationship, which is sex, which is primarily based on sex, monogamy, exclusivity, sex is also becoming casual. So can sex be casual?
Sex is whatever you make out of it. So casual sex these days is catching up a lot because the accessibility to it has improved. Uh, I don't know whether you people know about this or not, but long time back, Bill Clinton, the president of USA, he was caught in a sex scandal, and that was one account where he was caught. He was indulging in so much casual sex, irrespective of the fact that he was married to Hillary Clinton. But these days we have apps like Tinder, and people are becoming more open to such things. So casual sex is catching up, and sex can be casual. It comes with the costs that you are willing to put up with casual sex. Those
What kind of
costs,
costs?
yeah, those costs can be slut shaming, which happened with the girl, his secretary, Bill Clinton's secretary. Like, she was the one who had to take all the blame because Bill Clinton got away with it for some other specific reasons. So that is one cost which you have to pay even in today's date, where anonymity is very easy to access, but still it's not very easy to.
So moving forward, I'm assuming that you had the best of the both the worlds, casual world and the committed relationship world. And I have also seen both sides of it, you know, the casual side and the committed side. And I would like to ask Arpit, how does it feel differently when, okay, casual relationship, committed relationship, casual sex and committed sex? How are they different?
In committed relationships, you are with the person as a whole. Like, some people stay in live-in relationships, so you are like roommates and you know everything about each other. But casual sex is a little bit mischievous. You know something, then you meet the next time you meet that same person, but you know something more, and slowly you start off as a just two bodies of and the opposite sex or the same sex. For that case, you don't know about that other person's body, but eventually you learn about their body, their mind, how they think about things, which eventually might turn into a committed relationship, or it may not turn into that. So there are tiny bit of differences, which, I don't know, same may or may not happen in a committed relationship. You don't just start off having sex. You first know the person, then you have sex. Casual sex is, I think, a little bit different. First you have sex, then you begin with the reverse way, understanding the person at a deeper level, like keeping them, let's say, first sexual being nature comes in, then the
Yes,
human being nature
yes.
comes in, which is, I think, okay. There is no judgment about it. If you just want sex, let's say if you want a relief, you are tired after 1 week and you swipe on Tinder, and that's okay. After 1 week of tiring work, if you are getting laid on Saturday, that's fine. There's no shame or no judgment about it. But the thing is, people have to be discreet about it. Otherwise, you may end up like Bill Clinton.
I think there, you know, a lot of misconception is because of absence of a unbiased discussion on this very very natural human energy, urge, and source of pleasure for all of us. So I believe that, you know, we human beings. In fact, this is quoted by Esther Perel, and she said that human beings are driven by two fundamental sets of needs. One is the need of stability, and one is the need of adventure.
Yeah.
So she said that we are walking contradictions. And it is very difficult to balance those, you know, completely opposite needs, like can you be stable and can you be adventurous, can you be familiar and can you be still mischievous.
Yeah.
And somewhere we are looking for that, you know, when we get attracted to a person, even physically, and we want to know more. There is some mystery, there is some curiosity about the other person. It's not just about the body. Yes, there are factors where porn has made it made sex a commodity, and most of us are driven by this complete urge of ejaculation. But more than that, I think what we should understand is, rather than judging casual sex, we should at least understand the factor that, understand the reason that makes a human being, a person, go for casual sex. Maybe we have termed it wrong, casual sex. It could be more of a curious sex, have a better language. It could be something, a new world of intimacy. So rather than just, putting it in a very derogatory term, we can actually delve more into this phenomena, because it is happening, and it will actually help us a lot, help us navigate that uncertain territory which we are so excited about.
Yeah, and people consider that casual sex is very casual, but in a way, it is a very high pressure situation. Let's say you meet somebody and the things are going well, and you are going to have sex. Now, the things which keep on running in your head are like, what if they give me herpes? What if the other person is someone like bipolar disorder patient? So, what will happen if I leave the flat the next day and they cut themselves off? So it's not these are like shallow waters through which you have to navigate, and it's not a very easy position to be in. So casual sex does have its
It's
risk,
not so casual.
and it's not for foolish people. Foolish people end up in a lot of trouble after casual sex,
Okay.
which you can
That's
avoid in
interesting.
relationship, because you know the other person, you know what they're coming from and what they basically what they are offering you. But in casual sex, you don't know what they are offering you. They might offer you STIs. So you have to be very beware, like complete in control. Let's say if they are a drug addict, and after you leave, they get into a relapse or something, and they have to go to rehabilitation center because you fucked them up in a very bad way, both physically and mentally. So casual sex does have a price, and you should be very aware what kind of price you
I
want the
agree.
other person to pay.
And this is where I say that more and more discussion is required, even on such topics which are so contentious and controversial. Really, there has been a forum where, we have seen experts talking about casual sex.
Yeah.
I really wish that someday we have those, gatherings where experts are coming. Mental health experts are coming, like you talked about mental health, that yes, you don't know when you're getting into casual sex, a one night stand where you barely know the person enough. They could be suffering with any illness, and you end up, unknowingly, unintendedly, inadvertently, different
Yeah.
ways, but you end up into that situation and you pay a price for it when you don't know it. So definitely casual sex is not at all casual. Thank you, Arpit, for bringing this point. For a lot of people who want to hook up on Tinders, I know personally men who said that yes, we went on Tinder for sex, but what if that sex comes with a huge price? So please exercise your discretion. It's not so casual. And moving forward to, because we are talking about relationships, so we spoke about casual relationships. With regular relationships, because most of us still aspire for a regular, comfortable, known relationship, which gives us a lot of advantages. For sure, it gives us a home, it gives us money if the man is rich, and
And sugar mommies also exist.
sure, yeah. So yes, there are a lot of there are a lot of benefits, even when it is not friends with benefits. A regular
Yeah.
relationship also has benefits, but there is also a price. A relationship is not so easy, definitely not so easy, and I see there is a kind of I will say politics, relationship politics, where two people are actually competing with each other. They are like locking horns with each other, and even in sex, I'm not sure what is happening. We are not no, we don't communicate, we don't even communicate with us each other. Okay, let's have sex, what kind of sex, when, etc. We just want to just rush it through, just run it through. So deception is the word that relationship is something where you're supposed to be with each other. That is what a relationship means, that okay, you're coming together to form a relationship, be with each other. Deception just turns this upside down, when one partner deceives the other person, and sometimes you do it knowingly, sometimes you do it unknowingly. So what is deception? I mean, what do you see as deception happening in the relationships?
So there's a difference between manipulation and deception. So manipulation would be, let's say, there's a husband and his wife is not talking to him, so he gives her flowers at the pretext of building a relationship, like getting back things to normal. So that is manipulation, because you're trying to, get into their comfort zone by some lures and that sort of things. But deception is when you actually portray an image of yourself which is not exactly what you are, which, like,
Right.
some
True.
recently there was a term called gaslighting, in which a person is so much psychologically influencing you to the extent that you feel bad about yourself, and it becomes an obligation for that person who is in that position to be with their partner because their partner has influenced them psychologically. That is one form of deception, which happens in a lot of relationships. But, like, let's say you get into a relationship with a narcissist, so they will mess you up very badly because everything is about them,
Right.
nothing about you. And after a certain point, the other partner may feel that I have this urge, I have this obligation to be with this person because I want to make them happy, because that other person is not a narcissist.
Right.
This is one deception way, and other things can interplay, like being like withdrawing sex. It's a very common thing. Like, I won't give you sex until you give me this. So it has become a barter. It's become like a trade
Right.
thing. So there's no human emotional connection. Like other people say, no, sex is an act of intimacy. Sometimes it becomes an act of trade. So
Right.
what do you do in that case? Like, ultimately it ends at sex. In casual sex, the barter system is in a different way. But in relationships, when this happens, people are really hurt.
I think, Arpit, as humans, you were talking about deception, and as humans, we have our failings also. We need to understand that it's not just at times the expectations are too high from us that we need to fulfill that we end up, deceiving ourselves also in the
Yeah.
process, and our partner. So I will say that deception is not as simple as it sounds. There could be multiple layers, there could be multiple reasons that person deceives. So some amount of forgiveness, some amount of understanding, and definitely you should take a rigid stance, a rigid take when it comes to deception. But do see that, okay, what is behind that deception, why that person has deceived. Is it a pattern, or is it a one time deception, the person was too vulnerable? So yes, over to your thoughts. Thank you.